Okay, whoever's got the laser, put the laser up there.
Oh, I see it.
Got it?
Okay, keep circling it while I get the equipment pointed. Okay, keep circling it. Okay, I see it, got it. So Grant, this is the sighting we had last night, and we're really not sure what it is at this point. It was something that was glowing and appeared to be pulsating and moving low on the horizon. I'm just going to play it for you here. But we're going to watch that because that's interesting. Grant, take a look at this.
Yeah.
This is a little bit different than what we normally see.
I don't feel like that's not a plane. A plane.
Okay, so you can see it's glowing and it's kind of pulsing.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have that flash like a normal plane.
That's what sort of threw me off at first, because I wasn't really there when you guys first saw it. I came in from behind there and I saw you guys were sort of looking at something. And when I looked at this image, because you had 9 cameras going, I was watching this one, and that's what struck me. It was not the flash. It was this, when I first saw my 75, the UFO, that's what I remembered. It was like it was alive. It was red and it was sort of pulsing. And that's what I saw here. It was like, oh, it's that pulsing thing again.
Yeah, so, and last night the fellow Ty that was with it, he said there's no airports in the area. It's all just bush behind the highway.
Yeah, that's something I pointed out this morning, is when I looked up, Falcon Lake has 272 people, and Kenora, which is the next biggest town, which is like 40 minutes away, is 15,000 people. So it's like, we can say, well, okay, there's planes taking off and there's helicopters. Well, there's nobody there. That was the part that sort of I was trying to get from him. How far does the town? Where's the end of the town? Because this is all bush country where that was. And so there was a lot of questioning things. Like, it looked later more like a plane, but then the thing was, when I looked at the surroundings and the number of people, it was like maybe there's a helicopter, but we saw the one helicopter that was there at Falcon Lake.
Heard it, and
he flew around us.
Yeah, this is what's interesting about this sighting, because it was very low. We kind of saw it disappear behind the trees, but to where? Like, that's all bush.
But then when I looked at the video this morning, when you showed it to me this morning, when you see it from a long range, it's actually going up. It's actually coming off the ground, and because it was getting farther and farther on the horizon, it looked like it was going behind the trees, but it was actually, when you looked, we had that tower on the right-hand side there, and you pointed out to me this morning that it actually started on the other side of the tower, which I didn't see because I only saw it partway through, and then I didn't watch it with my eyes. I was watching the screen. We were watching the screen rather than the object. We were watching on the screen. So when you looked at it this morning, you realized that what you see with your eyes is not necessarily what's actually happening, because it did look like it was going, because remember, people said, well, I can't see it anymore, and we said, it's there, we can see it in the trees, it's in the trees, it's going through, because we were watching the screen and not watching with your visual, you couldn't see it. But then when this morning I saw it, it was actually going up. It was like it was taking off, because last night I said it looked like it was landing. It was coming in for a landing, but there was bush. That's why I said to Ty, this guy who had joined us, well, where does the town end? Because I knew it was all bush after that, and it wouldn't be landing in the bush.
Exactly.
And yet this morning, it looked like it was taking off. It looked like it was going up.
And, you know, we've got 9 cameras going. We've got to look through all the footage on this.
Yeah.
And we want to compare the flashing patterns. It wasn't flashing, it was more pulsing. So we're going to have to compare pulsing patterns of known aircraft. You know, we've really just started into analyzing this sighting. Yeah. So, you know, is it authentic? Is it explainable?
Yeah.
We got a lot of work to do here.
And there's a lot of things that you get, because you're probably got the big advantage in having 9 cameras, is that you see things that you didn't see. Because last night I was more in the thing that this was definitely anomalous. But then this morning, when you showed the one camera where you got the white and the red goes right through, that's the left navigation light. And then I looked and I go, oh, now that looks more like a plane. But I didn't see it with my eyes, and I didn't see it on this camera view that we were looking at last night. You couldn't see the red. Some people were reporting it, but I didn't see the red until this morning when you saw the camera. And that's sort of a disadvantage for, you see some of these projects that are coming out in the United States now, where they're building these platforms where they're going to put cameras up, and you can see even with 9 cameras, you're going to have trouble. So if they've only got 1 or 2 cameras, you think you're going to solve the UFO problem by setting up a couple of cameras around the country this even shows you that it's much more complex than that. With 9 cameras, we're still questioning, like, what is this, what is that? And you see things from different cameras, different perspectives that you didn't know.
Yeah, it's all about gathering more information, and once again, it can be disappointing because, you know, you get all this information, and in the end, it's part of that 95% of known things. Really, it's that 5% that, you know, you and I are really interested in.
Yeah, and with 9 cameras, we still don't know. I mean, one camera seems to show that it is, because there's no trail. You talked about the contrail thing behind it, and if it, so the question I was trying to determine is it a big object close up, because you saw it lighting up the lake as it was going by. So is it a close object that's small, or is it a big object that's far away? So it's amazing, and I give you credit in setting up the 9 cameras that you can actually, as we were doing, we're not even watching the object. Everybody else is watching that, and we're saying, come and watch the cameras, because you got all the screens, and we're just sitting there watching a screen of this object that's going through the sky, and we're not even looking at the object. And you can look at your infrared and your thermal camera, and look at this camera, and we're looking at the different things as a contrail and stuff. And even after all that, 9 cameras, it's still like a big mystery.